The early to mid-2000s were known as the quote, golden age of K-pop. Second-gen groups were at the peak of their careers, and third-generation monster rookies were just starting to hit the scene. As K-pop was growing, so was the community, and fan culture was well-rooted at this point. But two groups that have always lurked in the shadows and denounced in the community were Sasaengs and anti-fans. These two groups are known to be in the dark and obsessive side of the community. One name that most fans from that time may be familiar with is Kim Yo-shin, or infamously dubbed the Idol Killer, for the number of idols she has, quote, terrorized during her active years. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Midnight Theories. And if you're new here, welcome to Midnight Theories. Forget everything you thought you knew about K-pop. Welcome to your new home for all K-pop related theories, urban legends, and news. Enjoy your stay. Consider dropping a like, subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell to be notified when I release a new video. Today, we'll be discussing the most infamous Sasaeng known in the K-pop community. Kim Yo-shin, or self-proclaimed Goddess Kim, is rumored to be one of the most talked about Sasaeng and anti-fans. Her story has been retold time and time again through different media outlets and fan accounts that her story and her name is kind of like an urban legend in the community and has slowly lost its real story and information through its retellings. I do not have a clear indication as to when this blog or post were made, but the timeline begins from the early to mid-2000s. A young girl sits behind her screen. She creates a blog and goes by the ID Goddess Kim. She claims to be a dropout student or on leave from Korea University, and more specifically, the biotech department. On her blog, she creates chaos online by retelling her horrendous action towards idols and instills fear in multiple fandoms. Her alleged actions are as listed: adding glue to coffee and giving it to TVXQ's Yoonho. It caused him to have a seizure and he was rushed to the ER. To this day, Yoonho is still traumatized by his incident. She also allegedly spiked BAP's Himchan's coffee with constipation medicine, oil, and benzene. She would allegedly tell friend A, and that said friend texted her friend B, who would then go on to post it on a Korean forum. The translation reads as follows: "A girl I know is a BAP fan, but she's a bit creepy. What do we do with this?" Was it during BAP's power era? That time when BAP was arriving, she gave Himchan something. I asked her what she gave him. She said she gave him a coffee with constipation medicine, so I wondered if Himchan had a constipation and thought she gave it to him to be considerate. But that day, she gave it to Himchan. She asked Himchan if he ate it on his way out, and he looked a bit thin and pale and said he ate it. That day, I came home and watched the video of the performance, and Himchan's face was white and he messed up the choreography. He stumbled backstage and hurt his hip on the equipment. Then he went on stage and almost hurt his arm. The girl thought it was because of her and thought it was funny and said she had to do it again and said BAP has to hurry and come back. I told her she was crazy and not to do it again, but still. She says this time, she'll give him something even stronger. What do we do with this bit? Netizens claim that the alleged incident happened during BAP's Warrior era. While performing on Music Bank, Himchan is seen to be sweating and struggling through this specific performance. The third attempt was rumored to be that she tried to serve B1A Force bottle hydrochloric acid, but failed. She also tried giving benzene to Infinite L, but fortunately her attempt failed. The list goes on of her rumored attempts, but it honestly gets worse. I left the link down below to the list of actions that were rumored if you want to read about it, but trigger warning, some rumors have to do with the death of the members from Ladies Code, so that might be something you might not want to read. On her blog, she continued to list the horrible things she did to idols and even announced her next target. This Goddess Kim claimed that she would serve one of the members of EXO a drink spiked with hydrochloric acid at the next concert. She raised concern from fans of the group, and they suspected that her target was specifically Sehun. The fans tried to raise awareness and make it known to the group that they should be careful with what they consume and not trust anyone with their food. Fans also made the effort into trending searches such as Sehun, don't eat or drink the food someone gives you. This was also happening during the time of the Idol Star Athletic Championships, and EXO-Ls were determined to keep an eye on Sehun and the rest of the members. They said that they would keep a close eye on the boys and shout, "Don't eat it," if someone tried giving them any food or drinks during the event. There was also speculation that her target may not be Sehun or EXO at all, and she might be using it as a diversion to actually target another group or member. This had all fandoms on high alert. Netizens wanted to know what drove her to create terror in the community and hurt these idols. On her blog, she claimed that her parents passed away in 2007 due to a car accident caused by Sasaengs, who were following boy group TVXQ after their concert. She declared that ever since then, she hated idols and fans and had decided to take revenge on beloved idols. All these accounts were all rumored and hearsay that only netizens knew this was going on. It wasn't until one program reported on the situation that brought more attention. What drove more attention to the story was when SBS program Curious Why, also known as Wondering Why, aired the story on one of their episodes. Wondering Why is a program that reports on current affairs. In episode 204, that aired on February 28, 2014, we got to know the true story behind the infamous Kim Yo-shin, also dubbed the Idol Killer. Turns out, through Wondering Why's deep investigation, that this quote, Goddess Kim, was not who she portrayed to be online. In reality, the infamous Kim Yo-shin was actually a middle school student. The program's investigation team traced her ID from her blog and ran it through the Korea University student list, but no such name was found. If you remember from the beginning, I said that Kim Yo-shin claimed that she was a student at Korea University and a part of their biotech department. Wondering Why also found out that her supposed attempts to hurt these idols were false, and even her parents' death. It was well known that TVXQ's Yoonho incident happened in 2006, and it was caused by a spiked orange juice and not coffee. On Kim Yo-shin's blog, she claimed that her parents passed away in 2007 by Sasaengs chasing TVXQ, and that was the reason she became an anti-fan and started her terrorizing spree. The investigation team also looked into the reports reporting on car accidents that happened during that time that Kim claimed. No such accident happened when and where she claimed. Her other supposed attempts were just merely rumors, and it can't be proven if she actually even tried. The young student herself admitted her wrongs in a long blog post. She created this villain origin story because she accidentally read an anti-fan blog and was curious and became one herself. I am an ordinary junior high student, and I accidentally read the EXO's anti-articles and became curious, so I started creating a blog and leaving anti-messages. I was excited because anti-fans encouraged me to do more. I can't actually buy hydrochloric acid. I will live like a human in the future. Netizens were relieved that this was all just a hoax and these idols were not in danger. But it didn't mean that they were not angered. During my research on this story, I tried to find the actual episode that aired but was unsuccessful. The thing is, I found every episode old and new except for this specific episode, which had me questioning why it was removed. The only evidence of this episode even existed was the 30-second clip posted from SBS YouTube channel, and other channels were posting the trailer and a few screen grabs from articles. My personal theories are that it was taken down for legal reasons, perhaps to do that she was a minor during this event. The second theory is maybe to do with the negative feedback and reactions from the public and how the program ran with the story with baseless rumors. Again, these are my personal theories, but feel free to let me know what you think happened. Although this was all a hoax, many lives were affected by her mere words. What do you think of this situation? Have you ever heard of the infamous Kim Yo-shin before today? Let me know all your thoughts and comments down below. And as always, thank you for watching and enjoy your stay.